Hi, I'm CoffBeanie. If you're seeing this, you might be here from my Instagram, Tumblr, or TikTok. If that's you, then thank you for watching. If you're just here from my YouTube, then you should check out my other socials. So, I like Gotham. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. It's not the best friend show, but I do find it thoroughly enjoyable. What I especially like were the characterizations of different Batman characters. And if you couldn't tell, I had some favorites, so I'm just going to cry about them for a bit. I was fairly young when Gotham first came out, so I ended up catching up with it right around when it ended. I sadly never got to watch it while it was coming out, which I'm kind of glad I didn't. Waiting for some of those episodes would have given me so much stress. I rediscovered Gotham when I started seeing ship fan art of these two characters. They were familiar, I'd seen them before, and one day I checked through the tags and saw the word NYGMOBBLEPOT. NYGMOBBLEPOT. Edward Nygma and Oswald Cobblepot. I was like, oh, look at that. The Riddler and the Penguin, they're in love. Look, they're making out and they're dating and they're married. Wow. Why? This kind of convinced me to finally watch the show. Obviously, people have been shipping rogues since forever, but if two such well-known characters, such as the Penguin and the Riddler, were possibly being hinted at towards being in a relationship in some kind of material, then I just had to see how it would play out. And boy, did it play. I will be honest, season 1 left me a little bit disappointed. I'm a very impatient person. It just gave us that one scene, but honestly, in hindsight, it's very fun to look back on. Oswald was too focused on being in love with Gordon, and Ed just seemed really intrigued by the Penguin and maybe asked him if he wanted to start a family together, maybe.
Did you know that male emperor penguins keep their eggs warm by balancing them on their feet? Isn't that neat?
I don't know. I've seen some of the fics on AO3. People have been shipping these two, like, even since before that episode, I think. I don't know. People just knew. People were prepped for this. There was some improvement in season 2. I do really love season 2 and, like, the content that surrounds it, like fic and fan art. It's very much, like, domestic, very much puppy love. I don't know, if I were Oswald, I'd be hesitant to enter any relationship if I woke up to this, but I can never know what to make of Ed's love is a weakness speech. I just rely solely on Tumblr analysis posts. It's all just very fun to watch them eat dinner together, they sing together, and with the context that these dudes are gonna be big bad rogues one day. But then I hated when Ed just kicked Oswald out after he went good. I was so mad at him and I was so pissed, but whatever. Then season 3 happened. Now, I originally assumed NYGMOBBLEPOT would play out like any other queer ship that got popular on Tumblr, something like a Destiel or a John Locke, where it's definitely hinted at, and had the dynamic been between a girl and a boy character, they probably would have gotten together. But then we got to the mayoral campaign arc, and Ed is all like, I'm worthless to one, but priceless to two, and I would do anything for you. And Oswald is looking at this man with just utmost love and adoration in his eyes. Like, we're too far into this. There's no way they can just play this off as guys being dudes. Like, they are very much in love. And they didn't. The shock I felt when Oswald straight up went, yeah, I'm in love with Ed and I'm going to tell him. I'm so used to typical queer baiting, so I wasn't expecting them to go through with it, especially with the Penguin, and I was so excited. Like, look at this. I'm pumped. They were going to have dinner. Ed is going to pick up some wine. Oz will confess his love, and Ed will obviously say yes because he's been the one sending all the signals in the first place. They're gonna get together, be a villain power couple. I will know joy, and I will know peace, and Isabella. This is why we can't have nice things. I was devastated. Now, with hindsight, I've been seeing a lot of analysis on Tumblr saying that for the both of them, this was probably preferable that the Isabella stuff happened. They were currently viewing each other in a very idealized light, and a lot of stuff post Isabella really did reveal to each other like their uglier sides, and ultimately their relationship ends up stronger for it. But what annoys me is what very little they did with Isabella. Like, it was very obvious her role was just meant to drive a wedge between them and nothing else. But like season 3, there was a lot of Court of Owls stuff and some clone stuff, and it could have very easily been explained. Oswald is both the king of Gotham and the mayor. He's very powerful, but not exactly playing along with the court, which they're not very happy about. On the surface, it's very obvious that Oswald relies on Ed a lot, but the court could probably easily find out how deep their relationship is, and they could also find out about Christian, so they could have planned a very easy solution, send out a clone of the dead ex that's a bit too perfect, likes riddles, doesn't mind the whole killing his ex thing, to distract the chief of staff, send someone else in to lead Oswald towards the right way. Easy peasy. Obviously didn't go exactly as planned, the way the court planned, but it still got Oswald out of his mayoral position. Like a simple reveal of some plan of a clone, I don't know, like Christian's head or something, so they could have gotten her likeness, or just them finding out while they were taken by the court. It could have been very easily explained, and if they did, Isabella wouldn't have made me so mad, and her character would have felt like it had more purpose in the grand scheme of things, other than just to make sure that Ed and Oswald didn't get together. What also made me mad was all the stuff that happened right after the episode's Ghosts and Smile Like You Mean. It always made me feel very icky just with how mean they are to Oswald. Like, I know that what happened to Isabella was bad, but just all the stuff that he goes through in those 2 episodes, especially because I'm just more emotionally attached to Oswald, because I've known him for 3 seasons already. I've known Isabella for 2, so seeing him get hurt, and also just because I'm biased and he's my favorite, they make me feel very gross. I can't watch the scenes where Ed is just basically torturing him, and it's like, you've already broken my heart, and at this point you're just beating it with a stick. But back to the topic of things never being explained and or brought up again, like Isabella. Wake Up Alone. That just happened, and it's like, oh man, Ed really did like Oswald, huh? Yes, we've known this. He could have played it off stupid earlier, but we all knew that he liked Oswald. I always hated that the show did that. He was the one who sent the signals in the first place, and he's like, Oswald liked me? Yes, he did. He's stupid, and I hate Ed. Also, Ed's weird drug trip seems to have meant nothing. Dude was taking weird substances to see his dead bestie / crush perform something. I don't even know how to describe this. I don't even know what it is, because he's dressed very modestly, so it's like not sexual, but it also is. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's what his subconscious wants. But once he has the real guy right in front of him, he just kind of wants to kill him again. And then they have a weird little situationship. Sometimes they want to kill each other, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it sounds like they want to do a little bit more than that. I don't know.
Can take hours, days. It will be.
I'll take option B, Ed.
Slow and painful. It shall be.
Honestly, all that stuff kind of blurred together. I don't remember stuff after Ed shot Oswald, and then the stuff from season 4. It all kind of blurs together. And I also stopped rewatching the show when school started back up. So now I just want to talk about season 5. Fellas, would you name your dog after your situationship? Just throughout all of this, how in denial Ed is. He was fully prepped to leave Gotham with Oswald, but then Oswald wanted to stay, but Ed stayed for him. He stayed for him because he loves him, and Oswald got his eye blown out because he loves Ed, and they're partners, and they're gonna stay together forever, and they've reconciled. It's all gonna be okay. They were separated for 10 years. Now, Gotham never confirmed Oswald and Ed to be together, which sucks. Like, Bruce and Selina don't exactly end the show on dating terms, but they have enough romantic interactions in the show and in comics to make up for it. I can turn off Gotham, pick up a comic book, and read about them being a couple, but I can't really do that with Ed and Oswald. I've always been of the belief that there should be some spin-off for Gotham. Personally, I'd enjoy a comic book, bring it back to its general roots, and just because that seems more plausible than a series. But I think it would be really great if we could get something like a series just to get the cast back together, something live action or even something animated. The whole point of Gotham was to show how Bruce and the characters of the Batman mythos became the characters we know and love, so it seems kinda counterintuitive to cut out 10 years of development with a time skip. A series could easily be made covering those 10 years. A spin-off series could also be made of what happened afterwards. Gotham is not a prequel series to any specific Batman story, and based on how the writing went, a unique Elseworld type story could be made covering how Gotham and the characters operate with the Batman around. Bringing it back to NYGMOBBLEPOT, Oswald has always been able to fight back whatever was thrown at him. How would he function with the Batman around? Ed always struggled in finding an equal. How would he feel seeing that the Bat is the only one really capable of challenging him? The beginning gave me a snippet of what could be, and now I just want to see more. And I just always hope that the NYGMOBBLEPOT, Riddlebird, whatever ship name you call it by, stuff we saw could have bled into the comics or other adaptations. I think the most we got was maybe like a few comic book appearances and that one Lego Batman movie where they're gonna run away together, I think. I don't know. DC, please give me more Oswald and Ed. Last I read, Ed kept calling Oswald a fatty because he may or may not be working with the Penguin's kids, and so Oswald just kind of beat him. Like, is this what toxic old man Yowie is? Just stick them together in the same panels. I'll take the crumbs. That'll make me happy. Here it be, I based it off the limousine scene from the last episode. That scene makes me cry every time. Ed is looking at Oswald like just a whole meal because he hopefully finally learned his lesson and won't fumble him again. So that was it. I had just been itching to make some art of them, so this definitely got it out of my system. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and if you're a DC Comics fan, comment your favorite villain x-villain ship. You should also do all the YouTube things like, share, subscribe, and also check out my other socials. So that's all. Once again, thank you and goodbye.